Our Iceberg is Melting is a compelling fable by John Cotter and Holger Rathgeber. This book presents a powerful metaphor for dealing with change in our lives and organizations. Set in the icy, stark landscape of Antarctica, it tells the story of a colony of emperor penguins facing a potentially devastating crisis. Their home iceberg is melting. The story unfolds as the penguins discover that the iceberg they live on could soon break apart, threatening their very existence. It explores themes of leadership, teamwork, communication, and the resistance to and acceptance of change. Through the engaging and simple tale of Fred the Penguin and his fellow colonists, the book provides insights into managing change effectively. Whether it's in our professional environments or personal worlds, the lessons from these penguins offer valuable strategies. These strategies help us navigate the uncertainties of change with courage and wisdom. Chapter 1. Our Iceberg Will Never Melt. This chapter introduces a colony of emperor penguins living contentedly on an iceberg near Antarctica. The penguins believe their iceberg is stable and safe, having sheltered generations. This tranquil existence is embodied by the colony's general attitude of denial about potential changes or dangers to their environment. The chapter effectively sets up the penguins' initial complacency and resistance to the idea of change. Chapter 2. The iceberg is melting and might break apart soon. Fred, an observant and somewhat unconventional penguin, notices worrying signs of wear on their iceberg home. His observations lead him to conclude that the iceberg is not only melting, but might soon break apart, potentially during the harsh winter, endangering the colony. Fred's realization marks the beginning of a potential crisis, highlighting the critical need for awareness and action to prevent disaster. Chapter 3. What do I do now? After discovering the dangerous condition of the iceberg, Fred grapples with how to communicate this existential threat to the leadership and the colony. Knowing the potential for denial and resistance, he carefully considers his approach, deciding to share his findings with Alice, a pragmatic member of the Leadership Council who is known for getting things done. Chapter 4. Problem? What problem? Fred's concerns meet with skepticism and outright denial when presented to the Leadership Council. The chapter presents the dynamics of resistance to change within groups, showing how deeply ingrained beliefs and denial can impede crisis response. Despite evidence and the logical presentation of facts, Fred faces significant pushback, especially from Nono, a council member who refuses to acknowledge the problem. Chapter 5. I cannot do the job alone. Recognizing the magnitude of the challenge and the need for broader support, Fred seeks allies within the colony. This chapter focuses on the importance of building a coalition to effect change. Fred and Alice strategize on how to convince others, discussing the need to gather more evidence and support to persuade the colony of the iceberg's perilous state. Chapter 6. The Seagull. A turning point arrives in the form of a seagull, an unusual visitor to the icy lands of Antarctica. The seagull introduces the penguins to the concept of a nomadic lifestyle, opening their minds to alternative ways of living. This encounter serves as a metaphor for seeking external perspectives and solutions when facing intractable problems, illustrating how outside influences can spark innovative thinking. Chapter 7. Getting the Message Out. With a new vision for a possible future, the leadership faces the challenge of communicating the urgency and the new ideas to the entire colony. They employ various methods to ensure the message resonates and overcomes the colony's inherent resistance to leaving their ancestral home. The chapter underscores the critical role of effective communication in change management. Chapter 8. Good news, bad news. As the colony begins to mobilize, they encounter both successes and setbacks. The chapter highlights the emotional and practical challenges of enacting change, from enthusiasm and progress to fear and resistance. The mixed results illustrate the complexities of managing a community through transformation. Chapter 9. The Scouts. Determined to find a new home, the colony appoints scouts tasked with exploring beyond their current iceberg. This chapter focuses on taking proactive steps towards change, detailing the scouts' preparations and the strategies they employ to ensure the safety and future of the colony. Chapter 10. The Second Wave. After initial actions are taken, a second wave of efforts is necessary to sustain the momentum of change. The chapter discusses the importance of persistence in change efforts, showing how the colony continues to adapt and respond to new challenges as they implement their plans. Chapter 11. The Most Remarkable Change. Reflecting on the journey, the colony acknowledges the profound internal changes they have undergone. This chapter celebrates the personal growth, resilience, and new capabilities developed by the penguins through their ordeal. It highlights how the experience has transformed not just their physical circumstances, but also their mental and emotional landscapes. Chapter 12. Changing and Succeeding. The story concludes with the colony successfully relocating and adapting to new circumstances. This final chapter encapsulates the lessons learned, the successful application of change management principles, and the enduring spirit of the penguins as they embrace their new life. It serves as a powerful reminder of the potential for success even in the face of daunting changes.